Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and it's a box and lid, but inside is a Yankee candle Votive. Now this is my favourite fragrance in the world. It's retired, you can't get it, it's rarer than hen's teeth. It's called Loves Me, Loves Me Not, and I adore it. And I managed to pick up a big box full of these off eBay for a reasonable price. I wasn't paying more than they normally retail for, so I was quite pleased. But yeah, I absolutely adore it. Can't bear the tea lights because the fragrance doesn't stay. Like these, prefer the jars. Can't get hold of them anymore. But anyway, I have a little box for you. This bit does pop in and out, so if you want to make a box that is this size with a lid, it will go all the way down to the bottom, which I now can't get out. But if you do want to put your Yankee candle in, I'll show you how to put your middle bit. Obviously it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom, which means your lid only goes part way down. So I kept it simple. The reason for these colours is because that's the colour. I was going with the colour on the front, so the daisy. Oh, I love that smell. So that's why I went with the colours, but I'm going different this time. But I'm going to show you how to make it so easy. Your base and your lid, you measure them, you cut them both exactly the same. So 5 by 5 inches, 13 by 13 centimetres. And your inner piece, which is what you sit your candle in, 4 15/16 by 1 15/16. So it's just a smidge under 5 inches by just a smidge under 2 inches. Metric slightly easier, 12.8 by 4.8. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. So this is what's going to be the base of the box. So we're going to score it at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. Okay, so that is the base of the box. The lid, we're going to do my little technique. So we've got the 5 by 5 piece, and I want to, this is the bit that I'm going to fold in a minute. I'm going butting it up to the side because that is going to shunt the cardstock away just enough so that when I do on a 1.5 inch score, it's a hair of a smidge less. Can you see that? It's just a tiny little bit bigger so that it will sit flush. So I'm going to do that all the way around. So 1.5 inches. And the reason I use the same cardstock as is from the base, because cardstocks can be thicker and thinner. I can feel the difference. I mean, I haven't got, micro eyesight that I can see the difference, but I can feel it. Some of our darker cardstocks feel thicker and they perhaps are a little denser. So that's why I use the same colour, because I know it's the same thickness. Okay, this one, oh, and I forgot to say, that's 4 centimetres on both the base and the lid, if you're in metric. This one, very easy, 1.5 at both ends, or 4 centimetres at both ends. Easy peasy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to burnish these. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap cardstock because the hole that I want to put in the middle is 1 3/4 of an inch. So I've got my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. If you only have the scallop, it doesn't work because, let me just punch a hole in this. It seems to resist and it doesn't go down very far. Can you see that? Because obviously the measurement is taken from the furthest part of your flower. So it doesn't work, but it does perfectly on the bigger one. So, okay, this I'm going to use as a template though, because we've got a bit of a narrow gap here. So I want to make sure that it's going to fit. And then I can come back in with my circle punch and basically punch just round that template. And I know that I'm not going to have issue with coming off the edge here or anything like that. Okay, don't need those. I've now lost which one is my base and my lid. Okay, this is my base. We don't need to worry about it too much because you can stick your stick your panels on afterwards, but let's just check and make see. Okay, so trim straight down the rectangle and into the square, and then rotate it 90 degrees. and do the same. And keep going round, so rotate round. And this is Smoky Slate cardstock. I forgot to say, that one was Tempting Turquoise and vanilla. Still can't speak. Very vanilla with Daffodil Delight on it. That was very vanilla with Daffodil Delight. I can't speak. Okay, so that's my base. I'm just going to have to double check this now. I'm lining it up, I'm measuring it. Yes, so this is my lid. So come and do exactly the same with these. And go and rotate round at the 90 degrees. So basically your box is going to have 2 layers of cardstock on each side. And I will show you in a second when I've done this. Okay, so you've got 1 layer of cardstock there and you're wrapping over, so that gives you 2. If this folded in, you'd end up with 3 layers of cardstock there, but only 1 on each side, and it makes it fit and sit nicer. That's kind of where I'm going with that. Okay, so these panels, because it is cardstock, they measure, there's one here that measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 inches, so that's 4.5 by 4.5 centimetres, and then 4 of them that measure 1 1/4 by 1 3/4, so 3.5 by 4.5. And I'm just bringing in the Smoky Slate to go around it. I just think it looks quite pretty. And then I'll show you how to make the flower as well and how to tint up that. Oh, my tumble dryer's just finished, if anybody can hear the beep. This is the blessing of working from home when you're mid-video filming. Between videos, run and go and sort your washing out. Okay, I've lost my cell. There it is. So you'll be able to see where these go. They're quite obvious. So this one into the middle of the top. And then these 4 round into the rectangular panels. Oh, this is a nice gift because Yankee candles are lovely. They are also can be quite pricey, but they make a nice gift. And you know, when your packaging is part of the gift as well, that's always a winner. Okay, so adhesive into these tabs. And just bring them round, and you're going to line this edge up here with this one. Very inky fingers today. It's that kind of a day. Okay, so that's the lid done. The base, we're going to put adhesive in the corners as well, exactly the same way. And again, close it up the same way we did before. I've got my finger, just stick my finger to that. But do not stick your nails to your projects. You need to give the gift and not keep it stuck to yourself. So, fingers crossed I've got it the right way round. Phew, yes I did. So that fits. So if you wanted a box that went all the way down, and you just wanted a little box of that size, that's what you'd go with. I'm going to put my little helper, my little hole in there. I did have another candle out, there we go. Another candle in, lid on, and like I say, it's going to resist because of the top of the candle and not go all the way down. So I'm going to show you how to make this flower now, and I need another piece of pink cardstock. Have I got a small piece? I've got a small piece, I've got to get it out. Here we go. So, because I originally had out my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, I've decided to stick with it. You don't need to. You could make this flower with a round circle punch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a spiral. So you start between a couple of the, let me zoom in for you. You start between a couple of the scallops and you just cut round in a concentric circle. Or, no, an ever decreasing circle. Oh! That would be the cat. It's all but live videoing. We don't edit here. She's been shouting at me all morning and her tail is about to flick across the screen. And she's now sniffing out all of my ribbons. Okay, so I'm keeping coming round. And you're basically left with a spiral that is that shape. What you do then, we're not going to sponge yet. Grab a pair of tweezers or something like that, something that you can grip this end with. I happen to have some tweezers that are always closed and you squeeze them to open them, so these are great for me. And you grab your end and you roll it. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to roll it up. Okay, until you're left with that little circle. So I'm going to release it slightly because I want to get my tweezers out, and that is your little rosebud. Super duper cute. Now, I don't like hot glue. I'm really not a fan of it, so I kind of like to use glue dots to stick these things down. I don't like hot glue because I burn myself far too frequently, but the mini glue dots work very well on this. I have also got, there we go, so that's that stuck in place, but I kind of want to wiggle a hole into the centre part, and I want, cat in the way, I've lost, there they are, my iced rhinestones. Oh, I'm still too zoomed in for you. So iced rhinestones, and I want to get one into the middle, so I kind of need to wiggle a hole a bit to get it in. And that will sit in there. Oh, there we go. And now I'm just going to sponge up the edges as well. So I've got Dropsy. I just sponge all the edges up. Super cute, super simple. I rather like it. And that's going to sit on the top with more mini glue dots. She's going to flick a tail. It's probably going to appear on screen in a second. It's just out at the bottom. There it is. She's not happy with me. I don't know. I haven't done anything wrong. I fed her. Okay, tiny bit of stamping to finish off. The You're So Lovely stamp set, which I adore, and you all know I adore it. And let's have that bit of pink pirouette again. Come back in with the smoky slate. Stamp out Enjoy Your Day. Word window punch. And sponge around the edges of that as well. And oh, she's sat on the dimensionals. She's very not happy with me now, isn't she? Edge of the dimensionals onto there. Pop it across. Enjoy Your Day. And then a little scattering of crystals because we like them. And it's a pretty project, and why not? So there we go. Slightly longer than normal. I'm not sure why the video is longer than normal. I'm going to blame her. I'm not. She's lovely. Anyway, I hope you like it. I hope you get a chance to make one. And thank you very much for joining me today. And here she comes again. Bless her. Anyway, speak to you very soon. Bye.